Hey friend, welcome back. It's been a while and I probably should own up to the fact that I'm going to be busy every time that my children have a significant break from school. But I think for the most part, you've all been here for a while and you probably know that when it's crickets in these parts, it's because the kids are on a break. As summer break comes to an end, I hope to be sharing more videos again, and I wanted to start with an easy one, which is pen pal mail. And the way that I correspond has definitely changed. I'm currently exchanging with maybe 3 or 4 people. And some of the exchanges are in the form of a zine. Another of the exchanges are in the form of just handmade or really any kind of postcard, but I think we both enjoy making handmade postcards. And then this one under here, this is the first pen pal mail that I received from my new pen pal Victoria. And so I will be showing you what I will be sending both of these ladies. So anyway, this is a card that she sent me, and she just wrote like a small note in here. It's an adorable card that can also be repurposed in junk journaling or what have you. Then she sent a blank card for me to use however I like, some doilies, and lots of different kinds of paper. This paper was interesting to me. It's pretty thick, but it almost feels like wallpaper thick. So, you know, for all I know, maybe it is a piece of vintage wallpaper. This is my favorite piece of ephemera that came in the mail. I love tickets and library cards and things like that. Things that, you know, can slide into a pocket that maybe have some journaling space in the back. So I love that one. And she sent me this one, which is almost feels like cardboard. You know, I'm curious as to how I would use this, but I'm also intrigued to do so. But I love the texture. And then she sent some note paper or some letter writing paper. This paper, it looks to me like she dyed it herself. It could also very well just be ink or watercolor. I've been meaning to dye my own papers for a while, never got around to it. One of these days when I have a backyard or somewhere to hang papers to dry, I'd like to do that. She sent me this beautiful bag. This is something that's really great to use as a page or even to create a simple notebook with. So I love that. This vellum page with quotes on it and some book pages. Often for me, I use book pages as backgrounds or even as pages in a junk journal. So those will definitely get used. And then I've got some magazine pages in here with some really cool images. There's always a great use for magazine pages. I personally love magazine pages. I tend to use fashion magazine pages, but I am also not picky. And then these look like vintage papers from like school books or something like that. So that's really cool, and that'll be something that could make a really great background for some collages or postcards. Like these are some birds and ducks. Another page of birds and ducks. He also sent me these napkins to use I would use them in collage and as backgrounds for mixed media projects. I especially love the florals. And yeah, so this is everything that came in that envelope. These days, I'm really trying to stay more focused on flat mail. I'm not super wanting to pay a ton of postage just to exchange mail when really what I value the most is the letter. But that said, every once in a while, having a swap is really fun because especially this person lives in Canada, and sometimes when you're exchanging with someone that is from a different country than yours, you will find that you receive things that you've never seen before. It's hard to choose for someone that you don't know and you've never met and it's your first time swapping. So if you're starting out and wanting to become a pen pal with someone, I would recommend that you be very patient in your interaction and in how you receive things. At the end of the day, someone is taking time out of their day to put something together to gift to you for free. And I like to believe that everyone is doing their best to create and to send something that could be of meaning and of use to someone. And based on what she sent, now I have an idea of what she might like. And so I might try to do my best to send her things that are in that vein. Am I married to that? Am I stuck, trying to provide things that are exactly what she would need or want? No, because that's not the meaning of a pen pal for me. But all this to say that your first, second, or even third mail exchange is getting to know someone and allowing them to get to know you. So I have some things that were in my stash, and that is what I will be sending. You don't necessarily have to wait until you have a pen pal to create things to send to them. You can start making things, start following tutorials, or maybe you already know how to make things. Start putting things together, and when your pen pal comes around, you will already have these things that you can just slip into an envelope and then just take your time writing a letter, because you don't have to worry about making anything for them. So months ago, maybe even a year ago, I made this pocket using some repurposed book pages and some paper scraps, and I just sewed them together to create some pockets. The book pages create a pocket on the top, and then we have another pocket here and another pocket here, and then I just had this piece of ribbon that I tied. So in the first pocket, I'm going to be putting a little bit of ephemera. So I've just got this cute little teapot and some die cuts that I have in my stash. One of the best ways to make use of my scraps when they are small and maybe seem like they're an odd shape or whatever is to use my die cuts and just keep a massive stash of die cuts, and they come in handy. So all I did was put a Project Life card in the front and put the die cuts in the back and used a self-sealing bag, and now that is ready to go. Zero work and zero effort today because I did that work for me months ago. In the second pocket, I'm gonna put a few things. So first I have one of these DIY Polaroid-ish postcards. All I did was use a piece of a scrap in the background and then just sew an image that came from an outdated calendar that one of my neighbors was getting rid of. She was actually getting rid of like 10 calendars that she used over the past 10 years. Yeah, I just cut out the images and gave them a new life as a postcard. And there's journaling space in the back, and I kind of love that. Here's a postcard that I got at one of the stationery stores. I think they were 50 cents each, so I bought a couple of them so she can use that in any way that she likes. I kind of love the screaming lady. And then I just put an altered paper clip that I created, just the tiniest paper clip with the tiniest butterfly. I'm really doing my best to keep this as flat as possible. So yeah. From the same store, actually, I was really entertained by the fact that they used these French fry bags as their bags. So when I bought all of those postcards, they put them all in these cute little French fry bags. So I'm giving her one of them. That should be a really fun thing to use in a junk journal. You know, I'm not even sure if she's a junk journaler. I hope that she is. I'm judging based on what she sent me that I'm correct in that. Here is just an image that I cut out from an old book. When you see images that I've cut out, it's either books that my local free box neighbors have given away for free, or it's things that I've purchased at Goodwill. Here is just a little notebook that I made, and I bound it by sewing it in my sewing machine. Super simple, just a scrap of paper. And this, what I use for the pages, is actually the paper that sometimes comes in like Amazon boxes that they just kind of throw in there. I love the way that it feels, and I love the idea of putting less into our landfills. And then I've got this little envelope that has a few pieces of ephemera. We've got this florals. We've got just this quote that I printed from Pinterest. And what I did was that, I chose the option for my printer to print it like 9 times on one page. And that way they come out this small, so it's perfect. And some quote stickers. And for the last pocket, I will be adding my letter and a picture of one of my favorite places in Chicago. This is sort of like the garden area. I think it's called the Nature Conservatory, and I just find it to be so peaceful. And I'm always wanting to just sit there with a blanket and have a picnic, as many people do. And somehow I haven't managed to do that yet. One of these days I will. So that is going to go in the very last pocket right here, the one that the 2 book pages create. And that's ready to go. I kind of love it. Whenever I exchange with a pen pal, I just let the flow decide. And the flow of the day decided that this is what we were putting together. The flow of the next day might decide that I'm just sending washi samples and a letter. And if you have the right pen pal, then they will go with that flow. So that's what I'm sending to my new pen pal. And for my postcard exchange, I will be sending this DIY postcard. I'm pretty sure I've shared this with you guys before. This is just yet another project that I made using scraps, and I made 20 or 30 of them. And it's just so infinitely helpful to have these in my stash, because I know that I made them with love. So even though I didn't necessarily make this intentionally for her this time around, the last time I sent her one, I made it intentionally just for her. I nonetheless made this with the intention to gift to someone. And I like the caption that I chose. What I do often is I type up my own captions. I just keep a long list on my computer, and once the page is full, I print them out and cut them out and use them. So I have actually a little drawer at my desk full of a bunch of captions that I've typed and cut up for myself. Highly recommend that you do so. I also have in there words and things that have struck my curiosity from magazines and such. And so, yeah, recommend that you have something like that prepared for yourself as well. And all of these things will help you to correspond with your pen pal at ease. So yeah, I'm happy to be sending her this. I might, do like a little bit of tweaking here and there. Anyway, friend, I hope that you enjoyed this little Happy Mail share, and I would love to hear any of your questions, comments. I will see you next time, friend. Thanks for watching. Bye. It just wasn't giving, as they say. I like gold in my crafting, apparently, or I don't know, fruits and veg that actually provide color. Is she screaming excitement? Is she screaming frustration? Is she, I don't know, maybe she is in fact just screaming hello, who knows? But I find this really entertaining.